Okay, we're out here again with our Uruguayan conversion of the Mauser model 1871 that was rechambered in the 6.5 by 53.5 DOVITIIS or whatever. I can't speak French, but somebody's requested that I make them up some ammo. I kind of had to get this gun out, and I haven't done anything with it since 2016. So I'm out here today to do a test run, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I think I've come up with a way of making the brass and whipping up some loads, so this may be available. I don't know yet. I have to test this and see. I'm taking up where I left off with my old results on this, and I'm going to see what I end up with. $2,189. That was a yeah, that's pretty. It's hustling out there. I think 2,200, which that's close to it. Eh. And I'm using a 160 grain bullet on there. It's getting very inconsistent. Well, it looks like I got a winner for the brass. That was the hardest thing to deal with. And there is two different types of it. So, alright, and what I'm going to do is I only made up 3 strings. I'm going to run them on the chrono, and then we'll look at the targets once I get back, and I'll tell you whether or not I got something we can do here. Okay, let's talk about this rifle here. This is a rifle sold to Uruguay. It's a modified, uses a Mauser 71 receiver, and it is chambered in the 6.5. I think 53.5 DOVITIIS, I believe is the thing. I might be pronouncing it wrong, I don't know. So what do we have? Well, we have a reworked old gun. It was part of the discount thing that DOVITIIS, or the DOVITIIS Mauser it's called, a Greek guy that was selling uniforms and swords and stuff to the Uruguayan government. And I guess was partnered up with a guy in France that developed this caliber, submitted it to the French government, and was rejected, so we had a bunch of barrels. So we made these guns up, and they're very odd, and I guess you're going to find Buffalo Arms makes 2 different type cases. The case that goes in this gun is not the same that goes in the French prototype gun. Okay, there's a difference. Even though when you look this up, it'll say that it is the same thing. I've heard references say it is the same thing as the Dutch 6.5 by 53, which it is not. Okay? It's close, but it's not. So a lot of confusing references. So this is a very odd gun and a very odd caliber, kind of specific to it. And I'm having trouble. It's the second time I've tried to run ammo through it. Now the load I put in here in a M95 Dutch rifle is dead on, and any Dutch rifle is dead on with a 160 grain bullet. it does not react the same to this. So obviously how they cut the rifling or chambering or something, and this does have fairly deep grooves in the rifling, which could affect it. But as with all 1890 style designs, you have a huge barrel shank, then it goes down to this thin little wispy barrel here, which makes kind of a nice lightweight pointing gun. But the recoil on this compared to the same load in the M95, there's a lot of recoil. So this is a nice lightweight gun. It's a weird little gun. Well, here's another thing. After I fired a few rounds in it, this little thin barrel is hotter than hell. There's no handguard. And I mean after 5 rounds, it's hot and it stays hot. So this tells me in itself that you're having problems with the rifle being inherently inaccurate no matter how you load for it. In other words, this gun ain't going to really shoot dead on unless you take the time to experiment with more and more powders. Maybe a different powder than what I used might work, but right now in the middle of the crisis is not the time to be looking to swap over powders. So I got this gun to shoot, but not as accurately as say my M95 Dutch rifle. So what I'm going to do now, get the chronograph data, and what I'm telling you is just the way this gun's designed. Probably getting this to shoot accurately is going to be difficult. Okay, you got an obscure, unknown caliber with somebody who made a barrel that, you know, again, obscure, unknown caliber, was not proven, not tested, not used by any military. And even these guns, the reason you find them like a new shape, there was a problem. That's why they were not used. They were just put away. Okay? So, we're going to look at the targets. I only ran 15 rounds just to get where I wanted to go. And I kind of maxed out, I think like, well, we'll look at the, I'll tell you what the max velocity is for a 160 grain bullet on this. And then the book listed as 150, and Buffalo Arms sells your ammo made with 140. So, there you go again. All right. Okay, my test results with the 6.5 by 53.5 DOVITIIS. I tried to marry them up because they say that it's very similar to the 6.5 Dutch. And the middle load, I got excellent results to 6.5 Dutch. And I looked at the results that I got firing 10-shot strings, and it kind of looks the same. At 50 yards, that spread out, one went high, okay, with the one load. The load that works good with 6.5 Dutch still ain't looking that good. 5 shots on the paper, okay, and I'm getting an average velocity here of 21.58, and that's with a 130 grain bullet, okay, the Hornet A bullet. I kind of maxed out, so I'm getting an average of 21.97 feet per second. This group was better. Like I said, this gun I think has inherent accuracy problems. And even though the second one had the extreme or standard deviation of 12, this one has a standard deviation of 17, but I had duplicates on this. 2,189, so the average 2,197 kind of brings it in. I'm going to call this load a winner. So now I kind of got a load for this, and this load is steep. You know you're firing that gun, so at your own risk. And I did get one in the black, so that kind of tightened it up, but I don't really want to push that 160 grain bullet over to 2,200, which this one kind of does. You know, would it do better with another grain? Maybe. But with that old single locking, you know, the bolt's the only locking lug on that, I don't want to push it no further. So that's my results And really, I'm not going to try to develop this more. I may have tried a different powder, but I can't get powder to swap out and do some more development. So that's probably going to be it as far as that. So if interested, I know one person did, contact me, send me an email, we'll discuss this. Okay? All right.